गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वर्णानामर्धसङ्घानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरं वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुं शङ्कररूपिणं रमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्रः सर्वत्र वन्द्यते सीतारामगुणग्राम पुण्यारण्यविहारिणौ वन्दे विशुद्धविज्ञानौ कवीश्वरकपीश्वरौ उद्भवस्थितिसंहार कारिणीं क्लेशहरिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभां यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवां बोधे स्थितिर्षावतां वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिं नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसीरघुनाथ गाथा भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। सीताया पतये नमः. Now all of you heard this dry rendition of all these mantras, right? Now you will hear some beautiful rendition of it. Kuti, Kuti, नहीं है? हाँ Kuti.
Yes, Swamiji.
You chant the same mantras the way you chant. You know, for Ramayana we do it.
Yeah. Varnanam.
हाँ, पूरा. All the way to Nana Purana Nigamagamasamattam. So learn it in that tune and we'll then chant together afterwards in few months time. But now listen and enjoy.
एक मिनट कुटी जी मैं रिकॉर्ड करता हूँ. हाँ जी प्लीज.
कुठे
वर्णानाम् अर्थसङ्खानाम् रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्ध्वस्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम् वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुं शङ्कररूपिणम् यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्रः सर्वत्र वन्द्यते सीतारामगुणग्राम पुण्यारण्यविहारिणौ वन्दे विशुद्धविज्ञानौ कवीश्वरकपीश्वरौ उद्भवस्थितिसंहारकारिणीं क्लेशहारिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभा यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रजौ यदा हे भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेवमेव हि मां बोधेऽस्ति तीर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम् नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसी रघुनाथगाथा भाषा निबन्धमदिमञ्जुळमातनोति भाषा निबन्धमदिमञ्जुळमातनोति
बोलो कुट्टी महाराज की जय. Beautiful. I think every class, every Saturday after Padmini, you start. Once I done Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, then you start this. मेरी आवाज कौन सुनता है यार, सब सो जाएंगे. It is very nice. You do it from now on, and slowly we'll get that tune, all of us. I'm good at only barking. Okay, so we are on verse 47, 49, but we'll just look at 48 we were looking at, na? We were talking about आभासस्तु मृषा बुद्धिः अविद्याकार्यमुच्यते अविच्छिन्नं तु तद्ब्रह्म विच्छेदस्तु विकल्पतः. That which we call jiva, the living being, the soul, pure consciousness, has no shadow or reflected chetan, because reflection or shadow is always illusionary and misleading. Ignorance causes the deceptive and misleading sense of being wise, knowing and intelligent. The Supreme Soul is without a part, or it cannot be fractioned, divided or differentiated in two or more parts. Very important point. We were explaining it last week. I'll give you another example today about this. It's coming to me right now, and that is on a beautiful morning like nowadays. If you got up this morning, at night it had rained a little bit, and or on a foggy day when you early in the morning, before the sun rises, that time when you come into the garden, you will see dewdrops on all the leaves, on the grass, everywhere you will see the dewdrops. And as the sun rises, you will see, initially, you will see the sky getting reflected in every dewdrop if you carefully look at it. In every dewdrop, sometimes these kids, they play this soap balloon. bubbles, soap bubbles. When that big thing is there, if you do it outside, it reflects the sun, isn't it? Sorry, it reflects not the sun, it reflects the sky. You can see the blue color in that also. If not, go and do it now and check. So now, when the sky is reflecting in every dewdrop, has the space become many? Has the sky become many skies? So what is that? That is pratibimba. What is that? That is the reflected sky or the akash that you are seeing in the dewdrop. If that dewdrop goes away, tomorrow morning again next dewdrop comes. Will the sky reflect in it? It will reflect. Correct. So this journey of the soul, when we talk about, is of the jiva. Who is this jiva? He is the reflected consciousness. Is reflected consciousness real? No, it is phenomenal. What does phenomenal mean? It is existing in its own absence. So the whole journey of life is for the one who does not exist. This we have to discover while we are living. After death, I don't know. You also don't know. That is why Nachiket asked in Kathopanishad, third question. He says, "Oh Lord of Death, please tell me, some people say consciousness is there after death. Some people say it is not. Please tell me what is the truth." And this is the point that is being brought out here. Another way you can look, if you want to, and that is in a room, if you have 2-3 mirrors. What do you see in those mirrors? Yourself reflected, isn't it? In every mirror, all the 3 mirrors, you will see yourself reflected. If 2 mirrors are opposite each other, how many reflections you will see? How many? Infinite. Infinite. So who is reflecting in what? One reflected image reflecting in the other mirror, in the reflected mirror. That image in that reflected mirror is again getting reflected in the reflected mirror. And it goes ad infinitum. This is called rebirth. But it is a limited example. It is a limited example of the mirror. Just like sky has not become many, appears as many. You have not become many, but you appear as infinite number of yous in the reflections, isn't it? Exactly, if you understand this example, exactly like that, that one Parabrahma Paramatma who is just like the Akash, because we have to take this example here, he is formless, he is shapeless, yet when he reflects in that dewdrop, dewdrop has a shape, and that reflected Akash in that dewdrop, imagine that reflected Akash says, "Oh, I am this dewdrop on this particular leaf. I was born this morning." I hope the sun doesn't come out, because then I'll go out of existence, because it will evaporate. Same way we don't want our death. Sons, Lord sons, one of the child is Yama. We also say, "Oh, we don't want death to come, because I'll go out of existence then." Who is saying this? Reflected consciousness. Jiva. Jiva is he, that Akash which has accepted the conditionings as real and thus identified with it. Similarly, who are we in essence? We are that Parabrahma Paramatma, the Chaitanya Vastu. That Chaitanya Vastu. And what is Chetana? Chetana is the consciousness. That is a principle. The Akash is reflecting equally in all the dewdrops. See? Then, till here is Ishvara Srishti. Till here is the natural, if you want to say Akash is the Ishvara, then we'll say this till here is the Ishvara Srishti. Then what is Jiva Srishti? Jiva Srishti is when the reflected Akash says, I am the dewdrop, and identifies with it. From here begins the Jiva Srishti. It doesn't stop there. Then it says, I am this body. Then it says, I am the son. Then I am the father, brother. I am the husband. I am the father. Then goes on to, I am the grandfather, great grandfather. Uske baad, tang. Who is died? Who has come and who has gone? The one who was not there. Therefore, from Akash's point of view, are there any individual Akashis? From Akash point of view, no. From water's point of view, are there any individual waters? No, nor total waters from water's point of view. Similarly, that Akash which is reflecting in the ocean, when it is reflecting in a lake, when it is reflecting on the dewdrops, from his point of view, he is everywhere. He is everywhere. He has not got identified with any medium in which is having the capacity to reflect. See? It is a natural phenomena that wherever there is water, there will be reflection of the space. Wherever there is a body, there will be reflection of consciousness, reflected consciousness. But what about, that is your problem now. That I am that consciousness which was born. What was born? Was Akash born or the dewdrop born? Was Akash born? No. Dewdrop was born. When dewdrop was born, then the reflected consciousness came about. That very moment. See? This is our lot. The moment body comes, reflected consciousness comes. Now we have taken this reflected consciousness, this Chaitanya Vastu, or Chaitana we should say, or here the word they have used is where it in the previous somewhere it had used Chidabhas. It is Chidabhas is this reflected consciousness. And intelligent people start taking this reflected consciousness to be real. Intelligent why? On intelligent earthly point of view, not Mahatmas. Actually they are stupid. The Supreme Soul is without a part or cannot be fractioned. The Supreme Soul, space cannot be fractioned. Say, in space there are no small reflected spaces. In space there are no directions. See? It cannot be fractioned. Exactly the same way the Supreme Soul, meaning the Paramatma or the Atman, it cannot be fractioned, it cannot be divided, it cannot be broken up. It is one continuous one. Are you continuous? Sometimes you are father, sometimes you are brother, sometimes you are son, sometimes you are employee, sometimes you are waker, sometimes you are dreamer, sometimes you are sleeper. We don't stop there. Sometimes we are seer, hearer, toucher, feeler, thinker, taster. So we keep taking roles speaker, listener, seeker. Wherever there is an ER at the end, it is an error that has come about. So don't accept yourself as an error. You accept yourself as absolute. That which is undivided. Now what happens? We are essentially undivided, but we are experiencing ourselves because we have identified with the body. Body is made up of parts, so we start trying to experience the continuity through the parts, through the divisions. How? Like we want to be continuous as the body, it is impossible. We want to be continuous as the father, it is not possible. One moment, next moment husband comes out, next moment son comes out. What can you do? You cannot help it. If mother comes in front of you and you want to continue as a father, you cannot. The mother says, "Hey, Magya," immediately you forget that you were calling Magya to your son. Suddenly, gone. See? So we have to give up these erroneous personalities. So what is spirituality here? Subjectively taking, express through the divisions, but don't get divided. Don't get divided. Space is supporting all divisions. Space is supporting all the divisions of reflected spaces, because without space, reflection of space is not possible. But does the space feel that it is divided? No. Same way. You are Atma. You are supporting waking, dream and deep sleep. Do you feel you are divided into three? If you are feeling, you have lost the plot. If you recognize that these three are phenomena, I am the constant one, I am the continuous one, I am the Kutastha, the unchanging one. All you have to do is just somehow disidentify from the changing and come to the changeless. That is discrimination. The Supreme Soul is without parts, or it cannot be fractioned, divided or differentiated in two or more parts. Hence, to consider it as being more than one indivisible entity is erroneous and fallacious. What did I say? Erroneous? Everything that has a ER, employer, I am an employer. ER. Okay, employee doesn't have that. But I am a worker, ER. I am a householder, ER. I am a father, ER. I am a mother, ER. I am a speaker, ER. Wherever ER is coming, you are not that, so don't take it serious. Play the game. So not just take it serious. Don't take it serious and then come to be the constant one. Who is the one who knows? This contemplation must conclude in who am I inquiry. It must conclude in it. And who am I is not a question that you are asking, which you have read somewhere. That who am I question comes. If I am the constant one, I am not the changing, everything else is changing. All the words are coming and going, I am not coming and going. My lips are moving up and down, my tongue is going inside, my vocal cords I can feel changing, but I am not changing. Sound is going through ups and downs, but I am not going up and down. Automatically, if you become continuously alert about it, even if you do japa, same thing, loudly, you will become alert of it. automatically the question will arise within our heart and mind, then who am I? What is my... If I am not the seer, hearer, touch, if I am not all these ER personalities, then who is the real? What is the real me? Where is the real me? What is the real me? What is its nature? It will only be possible when we are self-oriented rather than world-oriented. So here he is talking about that hence to consider it as being more than one indivisible entity is erroneous and fallacious, and is also due to this ignorant intellectual exercise. So what is study of Vedanta, or what these few verses that we have been deliberating upon last 3-4 classes? Study of Vedanta without subjective approach is only an intellectual exercise. If we see, you are already 1 in a million. Behind Vinay, there are 1 million people. Behind Vidya, there is 1 million people. Behind Anup, another 1 million. Behind Saket and Bhageshri, they may not be actively listening, but they are exposed to it. So say 500,000, 700,000. Behind every, and all of you here, behind all of you here who are listening, there is innumerable number of people. Means like they are saying, now corona is, every third or the fourth person is infected with corona in Australia. So 1 in a million is infected with Vedanta. So you are lucky. Grace is flowing, that your ears are exposed to this knowledge. Behind every person who is exposed to the knowledge, there are hundreds and thousands of people who are exposed. But out of them, one person understands what he is exposed to. Out of thousands of people who understand what they are exposed to, the Vedantic knowledge, there is one who practices it. And behind thousands of people who practice it, there is one rare one who realizes it. But you are already realized, but you are living in error. We were living in error. So the fact that we are here coming together, listening to this discourse on Adhyatma Ramayana, which is nothing but pure Vedanta here, and you are understanding it, you are one among millions. So it's not a small feat that you have left everything and come here, that you don't fall asleep while listening, that you have faith, that's why you are coming again and again. You have reverence. Even while listening, you have reverence. That yes, teacher can invoke that in a person, but it gets invoked only when the listener is having faith. Then it will get invoked. See? Or if the speaker is able to invoke it, then the moment speaker stops, it gets uninvoked also. It gets covered up again. Just like the clouds are covering the sun, wind comes, blows it away, sun reveals, then again the clouds come and cover it up. So we have to find that faith and reverence within ourselves. But that is already there, that's why you are here. Delve into it deeply once, and once and for all sort it out. Don't think हाँ अब कल अगले सैटरडे थोड़ा करेंगे, देन नेक्स्ट सैटरडे थोड़ा करेंगे, धीरे धीरे बाय द टाइम आई गेट रिटायर्ड आई विल बी रियलाइज्ड. विशफुल थिंकिंग. Realization is only here and now. So our approach must be clear. And the opportunity is right now. Get yourself in sync with the words of Adhyatma Ramayana and let the grace, which is always present, let it become revealed within you. अविच्छिन्नस्य पूर्णेन एकत्वं प्रतिपाद्यते तत्त्वमस्यादि वाक्यैश्च साभासस्याहमस्तथा. This is the reason why the indivisible microcosmic soul or the self is regarded synonymous with the macrocosmic soul. You understand? The reflected sky in the dewdrop is having a relation with the total sky. Yeah. So what is the dewdrop? Sky in the dewdrop? Microcosmic sky. Microscopic or microcosmic sky. What is the other word? Oh, that's macrocosmic. And what is the relationship? The total sky alone is reflecting as the individual sky in individual body of the dewdrop. So when we say Ishvara is everywhere, God is everywhere, God is the ultimate, He is the cause, He Himself is appearing in every heart. Every Mahatma says that, every scripture is saying that. This is the meaning. How will you realize it? By thinking about the body? No. You have to think about the nature of the reflected consciousness. What is this? First, drop the body, come to the reflected consciousness. Then how this reflected consciousness is total consciousness? Scriptures are telling us. ये है मजा इसका, वेदांत चिंतन का ये मजा है. इसमें रोना धोना नहीं है. भाव चाहिए, भाव चाहिए, बट नो इमोशंस. भाव डज नॉट मीन इमोशन. इट्स समथिंग हायर. इमोशन, पाही माँ, मैं तो पापी हूँ, प्लीज आई हैव डन सो मेनी रॉन्ग थिंग्स. ये भाव हो गया. ये वाला भाव नहीं चाहिए वेदांत में. You have to catch him by the horns. Who? Yourself. Which horns? Which don't exist. See? Is synonymous with the macrocosmic soul, and the former is addressed with qualifying adjectives used for the latter in order to establish uniformity or oneness between the two. So what is the oneness between the two? What is the nature of the sky reflected in the dewdrop? What is the nature of sky? What? Yes, it is reflected sky, but what will be the quality of the sky? What will be the nature of the sky? What will be the attributes of the sky which is reflected?
The same color and form of the...
It will be exactly the same as the total sky, isn't it? Total sky is blue, it is blue. If it changes color, this fellow will also change color. See? So we are told Atma is Satchidanand Swarup. If you want to take just God, Ishvara is also Satchidanand Swarup. If you take Paramatma, Parabrahma Paramatma, his nature is also Satchidanand Swarup. अरे तेरी की तीनों एक ही है, तो फिर which one is the real? All of them are one, appearing as many. This is what we were talking last week also. Mannatha Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagadguru Madatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. The connection Mannatha Jagannatha. The Lord in my heart is the Lord of the world. For whom is this? This is, if you take it as a seeker, the contemplation, he is thinking he is the body. This is just, last week I explained in a different way. Today again another. Many ways to look at it. Well, as a seeker, what is he attempting? That the Lord in my heart and the Lord of the world are one and the same. Mad Guru Shri Jagat Guru. The Guru, my Guru is the Guru of the whole world. That means my Guru is the infinite Guru. Can he realize it? Can he realize? If he says that he has realized, it will be only an imagination. And if he realizes it, and when he realizes it, there will be no words coming out. There is no word to come out. But these first two, Mannatha Shri Jagannatha, Madguru Shri Jagadguru, when it will be possible? When he realizes Madatma Sarva Bhutatma. So the reflected space in the dewdrop has come to realize I am the space which is reflecting that I am is the Sarva Bhutatma. It is the same space reflecting in all the dewdrops. Still duality is there because he's seeing everything is still there. But that's the best way he can explain. That's the best way he can explain. After having realized the body is still continuing. If someone says, what did you do? Where did you go? What did you experience? What will Nachiket say when he goes back from the Lord of Death back to his father? Something will be. Now he will have experienced the final question that consciousness is eternal. With that knowledge, when he goes back to his father, what will he tell him? Madatma Sarva Bhutatma. He has to say something. If he says quiet, that will be disrespectful. Because he's still going, when he will go back, he'll still be 6, 7 years old, 8 years old. He'll be expected to answer back. See? So these adjectives like Satchidananda, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarup, all these, here the word used is Tattvamasyadi Vakyaischa. So Tattvamasi, Tat, that, Tva, you. Who are you? The individual. Who are you? The reflected space. Who is that? That is the total space. That is the total. This is just an example. Now don't start imagine like that you are the space. That space part is space, it's only an example. You are the total space. So what is? You create an identity between you and that infinite. So if your attention is on the body, how do you create an identity? Very difficult, no? You will only have an imagination of that infinite. You bring him down as in some form. But when you become a seeker, then what is told? The sun is your right eye, the moon is your left eye, the Vishnu Bhagwan at my feet. I go to his feet. How come he's in? No, he's the Adhishthan Devata. He's the one who's making you walk. Indra is the one who's making you hold. Agni is the one who's making you speak. Wow! All these gods are in me because our attention is still on manyness. But these many are not human beings, they are gods, devatas. Where did they come from? Oh, the Ishvara alone expressed it. Ishvara, you and him are one. Tattvamasi. And when he realizes it, aparoksha anubhuti, direct experience of this Tattvamasi Mahavakya, then Mannatha Sri Jagannatha, Madguru Sri Jagadguru, Madatma Sarva Bhutatma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama. This wonderful expression comes out of this seeker, out of the one who has, for whom it has clicked. This must happen to us also. Continuing till verse 52. Aikyajnanam yadotpannam mahavakyena chatmanoho tada vidya swakaryauscha nashyat संशयः एतद्विज्ञाय मद्भक्तो मद्भावायोपपद्यते मद्भक्तिविमुखानां हि शास्त्रगर्तेषु मुह्यतां न ज्ञानं न च मोक्षः स्यात् तेषां जन्मशतैरपि इदं रहस्यं हृदयं ममात्मनो मयैव साक्षात् कथितं तवानघ मद्भक्तिहीनाय शठाय न त्वया दातव्यमैन्द्रादपि राज्यतोऽधिकम्. He says in the first verse, what is that? In the 50th verse, Aikya Jnanam Yadotpannam. ऐक्य ज्ञानम यदोत्पन्नम महावाक्येन चात्मनोः तदा विद्या स्वकार्य कार्यौश्च है ना 50 कार्यौश्च ये कार्यैश्च इन दिस प्रिंट आउट कार्यैश्च तदा विद्या स्वकार्यैश्च नश्यत्येव न संशयः. Here he says, when one acquires the awareness of the basic elementary truth of oneness of the soul of the creature, the jiva, and the supreme soul of the Paramatma, by understanding the implications of the great Mahavakya, which is Tattvamasi. And what are these Tattvamasi? There are 4 great Mahavakyas. Tattvamasi, Ayam Atma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma, and Aham Brahmasmi. These are the 4 great. There are many of them. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, Brahmatmaikya Bodh, Ekam Jnanam, Anantam Brahma, Ishavasya Midagam Sarvam. These are all formulas to shift our attention to the infinite, to shift our attention to the nature of the infinite. Implications of the great Mahavakyas. At that moment, in such an eventuality, ignorance along with its delusionary effects and incumbent actions indeed become defunct or destroyed. There is no doubt about it. उसके बाद राधे राधे न तदा विद्या स्वकार्यैश्च नश्यत्येव न संशयः. Then there is no question of swakarya. Swakarya is my duty. There is no duty left after that. Oh, please tell me quickly. I don't want to be responsible for anything. I had duty towards my parents, I had to duty towards my. Someone who came to told me, Swamiji, when we are children, parents say, we are grown up, you have to listen to us. Then when we become teenage and youth, they say, we have more experience, so you should listen to us. Then when we become parents, then they say, oh, you listen to us, we have already gone through it. You go to work, leave the children, how to bring up the grandkids, we'll take care. And listen, why you want to repeat the same mistake? So, as a kid, we are what? We are surrendered to the parents. As a teenager and youth, they are bringing the food, they are paying the bills. We have no choice but to listen to them. When we grow up and we have kids, we need buy at home, so we are dependent on them. That is grandfather and grandmother are buy. What do you call them? Crush, homemade crush.
Nani.
Not nani. Child care for child care. So we have to keep them happy because they have to take care of our children. And when they get old, they say, I cannot do anything. Is this for this day? I had given you birth, that you don't take care of me. So whole life we are only slogging and slogging and slogging and slogging. So as child I listen to parents, and even when they are getting old I have to listen to them. Then when do I make my own decisions? When do I have my freedom? Question, no. It must have gone through everyone's mind. I am just being the devil's advocate here, bringing it out. पूरी जिंदगी सिर्फ लगे रहो पीछे किसी के, फिर हम अपनी जिंदगी कब जिएंगे? प्रश्न आता है, सबके मन में आता है, इसलिए माइग्रेटो के आ जाते हैं. सब हंस रहे हैं, बदमाश लोग. सब सन्यासी भी भाग गया था. गुरु महाराज ने वापिस पे कहाँ भागता है. बट क्वेश्चन ये है, तो ये ड्यूटी कब तक है? हाउ लॉन्ग इज दिस सेंस ऑफ ड्यूटी? हाउ लॉन्ग इज दिस सेंस ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी? हाउ लॉन्ग इज दिस सेंस ऑफ doing something? Swakaryeshcha. Swa is when you think Swa is this body. Then naturally duty will, with respect to this body, will come. Who gave me this body? Parents. Naturally the duty towards parents will come. But if you have worked it out and you say, चल है, सब ठीक है, God is everything, and you get intoxicated with Him, then you will not listen to parents, you only listen to God. Then Tulsidas ji did not listen to his wife. Ghora Kumbhar did not listen to his wife. Namdev Maharaj did not listen to his wife. Gondavlekar Maharaj did not listen to his mother and wife. Ramana Maharishi did not listen to his mother and brother. He went. When the love for the higher, we are not talking about body, when the love for the body is there, attachment to the body is there, obsession with the body is there, then the Swa is the body. Swa means self is the body. Then whatever is related to the body, you feel obliged to do the duty towards that. Otherwise you will feel guilt. You will have regrets. You will have. उसमें मेरा रुमाल देना. In my pocket, without dropping anything. Give it to me. Huh? Without. we'll have guilt, we'll have regret. कि यार ये कर देना, I should have done that. But a person who is doing japa, who is doing, contemplating on the Lord, in deep contemplation, and if he is on Vaikhari, till Vaikhari, he will still be little bit worried about the world. But as he goes into Madhyama and Pashyanti and beyond, he is living in the world, but he is not available to the world. If he is not available to the world, why he is not available to the world? Because his contemplation and his japa is so intense that he does not realize that he is the body. He is identified with the mind. Understand? Vaikhari means with the body, Madhyama is with the mind. So and you cannot reach Madhyama while still thinking of the body. You cannot get there. So he is so in love with the Lord's name, with the Lord's form, that people declare him mad. Ye to gaya. See? So even at that stage, it's an interim stage, but already. But you can always come back to body identification from Madhyama. Ore Tiriki, I did not do this, I did not do that. The wife beats him up, the mother beats him up. Why did you not do your duty? Oh, I was doing japa. What japa? Which God? Matrudevo bhava, Pitrudevo bhava. Scriptures say, they know exactly which one to tell what time, Mother is God, father is God. What God you are thinking of? No, I was doing Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. They say God is in father, God is in mother. But they say father, God is in me also. पूरी वाट लग जाती है ऐसी करके. If you don't sort these things out, you are a big mixed salad in your head. फिर पता नहीं आता कि क्यूकम्बर खाना है कि टोमेटो खाना है कि ग्रीन लीफ खाना है कि ड्राई फ्रूट खाना है. You are totally confused as to what is your position in this life. But as we raise ourselves, Tattvamasi, as we raise ourselves thinking of the divine, what happens when we raise ourselves? Everything becomes clear. When we are on the ground here, we are confused. If I tell Bhageshri, you have to go to Manoj, you have to go to Glen Waverley from here, and this is the route. Tak, 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 tak. Did you understand? No, she cannot say no to me. Yes, I understood. No, it's an example. I did not ask you to reply. Huh? Yes, I know, you don't know. So she says, yeah, understood. Same way we also, the scriptures are saying, you are Paramatma. Yeah, understood. Khak understood. Start the journey. Bhagiji starts walking or cycling. Within few turns, she'll be totally confused. Then sometimes she can't even come back, but because she has not gone too far, she'll ask some people and she'll come back. We all have been gone away from parents, or we got lost somewhere and we have found our way back. See? Same way, we are studying scriptures. When we ask questions, when you hear something, you say yes, 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 yes. But what yes, 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 yes? Is clarity 100%? As long as you are considering yourself to be the body, physical body I am talking here, you can never have the clarity. But the moment I tell Bhageshri, you have to go there. Yes, Swamiji, how do I go? Follow the GPS. Then it is easy for her. Or I tell her, I'll give you an helicopter. And from helicopter I show her, see, this is the way. This is the highway going straight to Glenway Valley. That simple. Then why was I confused before? Because you could not see the total journey. The clarity of the journey was not there. Sitting here, which turn where, even though it is almost straight line from here, but few bends here and there, and you get confused in that, or you get distracted. But the moment you go a little bit away from the ground reality is the body. Madhyama is little bit higher because you've gone subtle. Everything becomes very crystal clear. Everything becomes crystal clear. And when it becomes crystal clear that you are the seeker, this is the journey, that is the destination, and that destination is my true nature. My mind is thinking it's a destination, but it's a destination-less destination because it's me only. But to get to, am I foolish to go to myself? But that's what you are doing, studying scriptures. If not, if you don't study scriptures, what will happen? You will go back into the world. What will happen when you go into the world? Your mind will be cluttered with the thoughts of the world, and then you will have desire for the world. The ladder of fall begins. Desire leads to greed, greed leads to delusion, delusion leads to lack of discrimination leads to loss of memory. Loss of memory leads to lack of discrimination. And where a person is not able to discriminate between the real and the unreal, the changeless and the changing, he is as good as dead. Living dead. We are all zombies walking around. If we are not discriminating 24/7, continuously alert, vigilant, clear. Even if there is fog on the mirror in the bathroom because you forgot to put the exhaust on, even if there is a ghost which is reflecting from the mirror, but you know it is you only. See? You have got no doubt. Clarity is there, na? Do we have the clarity? Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. Do you have the clarity that one sky alone is reflecting in all dewdrops? Do you have the clarity that this Atma, which is not other than the Paramatma, alone is reflecting in every mind, every being, every object in this creation? Intellectual conviction may be there, but we need direct experience, and direct experience requires nothing to be done. If you do, you are caught up, because by karma, na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amritatva manashuhu. Immortality is gained not by karma, na karmana. Karma is only done when you say, I am the body, I am the breath, I am the mind, I am the intellect, I am the waker, I am the dreamer. When you take on some ER, then activity begins, because identification. Then karma begins. And as long as karma is there, ego is there, karta is there, doer is there. Doer can never come to know his infinite nature. Can never come to know. Then what do we have to do? We don't know how to give up. I don't know how to give up my children, my love, attachment to the children. I don't know how to give up attachment to the body. I did not create the identification, but I find myself identified with the body. Did you create the identification? No. So how do I undo this? Become clear of the path, become clear of the goal. Do such activity which concludes in no activity. You do the activity of going to sleep, But once sleep begins, you are not doing any activity of thinking that I am sleeping. Are you? Same way. You do the activity, you take shower, you light the lamp, you do the japa. Japa is activity. That activity is going from gross to subtle, subtle to causal, and then it takes you into meditation. Meditation, no activity. Activity is only in Vaikhari and Madhyama. Only at the physical mouth level, Vaikhari, mental level, Madhyama. After that, there is no activity. If you go to sleep, which is Pashyanti, no activity. In sleep, there is no activity because your body disidentified in sleep. Your mind disidentified in sleep. Well, not really. The mind is not there only in sleep. But your body disidentified. Tyage naike amritatva manashu. Therefore it is said in deep sleep, you are closest to the Paramatma, you are closest to the Atma. But there is a veil of ignorance. This veil of ignorance comes when we approach Adhyatma. Adhyatma Ramayana, no? When we approach Adhyatma means that which relates to the self. When we are Adhyaya means study. Atma, the self, the study of the self. When the study of the self is begun, pursued, continued, meditated upon, thinking you are the body, it will never conclude. It becomes Jada Samadhi. But when we do this entire journey, all these steps that I told you, being subjective, then the Tattvamasyadi, the statements of truth that are told, they will lead to Aikya Jnanam, they will lead to the union, the Yoga Sthiti. Aikya Jnanam, knowledge. Now you don't need thought knowledge to be convinced. You are that knowledge. Because Atma, first you are saying, in essence I am Satchidanand Swarup. In essence, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. You are repeating in your mind. Like you keep repeating, I am sleepy, I am sleepy, I am sleepy. But when sleep comes, do you keep saying I am sleepy? No. Similarly, when Aham Brahmasmi comes about, that means Aham and Brahma are one and the same. When that happens, when will it happen? When no other thought of the world, of the body, of the mind, other than Aham Brahmasmi is left in the mind. When everything is Tyage Naike, everything has been neutralized, this Aham Brahmasmi thought also drops away. And who remains? You remain. Because Aham Brahmasmi was being chanted by the mind, isn't it? This is Adhyatma. And this is being explained through Ram and Sita. Where she says, she is the doer, Ram does not do anything. Atma does not do anything, everything the mind does. As a seeker, the mind has to be oriented in such a way that it concludes in Ram, that is Atma. So just talking like, contemplating like this itself is I'm full. Aikya Jnanam Yadotpannam Mahavakyena Chatmanaha Tada Vidya Swakaryaischa Nashyat na Sanshaya. And there is no doubt that once this Aikya Jnanam takes place, by the instruction or the thought of Tattvamasyadi Mahavakyas, that you are abiding in the self as the self, ignorance is no longer. Knowledge, last time also I think I mentioned, when we say knowledge, knowledge is not these words which are being read from the book. The words, knowledge is not the words which you are hearing or I am speaking. Words are not, knowledge is not equal to n number of convictions that I have in my mind. What are the convictions? I was born, I am the body, I am a son or a daughter of someone. Now it is evening, this is satsang going on, and I am not sleepy. This is not knowledge. This is aparavidya. This is aparavidya. This is lower knowledge. This is thought knowledge. Now, in that thought knowledge, we are saying Tattvamasi. So teacher says, you are that. And the student says, Aham Brahmasmi, or I am that, like Nisargadatta Maharaj. It's still a thought. It has to be realized. It has to be realized. And once that Aikya, so this Atma is the true knowledge. Because when we say Satchidananda, Sat means always existing, never going out of existence. Chit means all knowing. If I say this is a laptop, then only this is a laptop. Do I know? Do I have the knowledge of the whole world? Do I have the knowledge of the whole creation? Do I have the knowledge of all the dreams, past, present, future, all the waking, past, present, future, deep sleep, micro and macro? Do I have the knowledge of everything? But when we come to realize that we are the source, we are the constant principle, this source alone has as if expressed as all the whole creation. Then when you are out of you, something is created, you know everything about it. If I ask you, tell me about my life, you cannot tell me. But if we say, you tell me about your life, oh, thank God you asked me this question. And you will go, you don't have to think. You know it intuitively, you know. You don't have to research, you don't have to Google, you don't have to Wikipedia, you don't have to Reader's Digest, no, Reader's Digest. You don't have to ask, hey wife, do you know what else can I add to myself? Will you ask that question? You will, once you start, it will be difficult to stop you. Because it is your direct experience. Aparoksha Anubhuti, direct experience of the word knowledge. When the reflected space, instead of being attentive of the dewdrop shape, shifts its attention to the total space, the infinite space. Story over. When we as a seeker shift our attention from body to the breath, from the breath to the mind, from the mind to the eye, from the eye to the infinite one. No, it's very difficult. Okay, from eye to total eye. Total eye, Ishvara. Get there. Nothing wrong. Ishvara knows who he is, in essence. Get there. But be free of this daily rigmarole. How will we be free from rigmarole of duties and activities? Activity will still go on. There will be no karma. There will be no karma, samskar. Kriya will go on. How will we? Without ownership, without doership, because doer is no longer there. That person has realized that he is the infinite then he is looking at this body, he is not looking at the body. When we say Sahasra Shirsha Purusha, that the seeker is singing this mantra. But if the water says Sahasra Shirsha, what does it mean? That I am expressing in all the ways. You are telling Ishvara, Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. He says, what do you mean? Ishvara knows what it means. Paramatma, Parabrahma, Paramatma, Brahman he doesn't know. Ishvara knows that the nature of his potentiality. He knows my wife, sometimes when she's sleeping, I can meditate. When she's busy, I have to get up. When he gets up, he has to become Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Remember last class or the class before, we explained you all this. Then he has to create, he has to maintain. She keeps him busy. It looks that way. It seems that way. But actually he is not doing anything. The activity of his Shakti is being superimposed on the Ishvara. When she says Ramchandra ji is not doing anything, I am only doing it. But ignorant people think he is doing it. So when we come to our own essential nature, when we come to know the knowledge that I am all that there is, Am Brahmasmi, that I and the Brahman are one. This is not a thought, it is your direct realization. For that, what you have to do? Empty yourself. How do you empty yourself? Remember the Lord. Contemplate on the self. Contemplate on the constant one. Contemplate on the unchanging one. Aikya jnanam yadotpannam mahavakyena chatmanoho tada vidya swakaryaischa nashyat na sanshayah. There is no doubt whatsoever that there is about anything, because you are the source of everything. You have got complete knowledge, and where there is complete knowledge, ignorance cannot exist. Ignorance is completely burnt away, annihilated, dissolved, melted. Not even an iota. Where there is sun, no darkness is possible, right? Where there is sunshine, where the sun is up, darkness is not possible. From sun's point of view, there is no darkness. Similarly, from the one who is established in the self as the self, from his point of view, there is nothing called ignorance. Then this whole Jagat is nothing but the self alone, is divine. Right now we don't have that experience. Continuing, 51st verse. Etad vijnaya madbhakto madbhavayopapadyate madbhakti vimukhanam hi shastra garteshu muyyatam. I hope I'm just giving this in detail, such a depth, that once we understand this, then Adhyatma Ramayana, as we go ahead, then I don't have to delve so deep. You know, we have done the foundation and then we just go through it. I say go through it. Who knows what will happen? Huh? But I only can hope, or I believe that you have understood the whole idea that is being presented here. Etad Aikya Jnanam, that was the point. And until and unless I do not come to be established in the self as the self, that is Aikya Jnanam, that is knowledge without thoughts. That is the knowledge of the self as the self without the medium of thoughts. Thereafter, no doubt whatsoever about anything. Now, etad vijnaya madbhakto, when one, where are we? Number 51, na? न ज्ञानम न च मोक्षः स्याते शाम जन्म शतैरपि. Okay, we'll come to that one. First, let's see the first two lines. एतद् विज्ञाय मद्भक्तो मद्भावायोपपद्यते मद्भक्ति विमुखानां हि शास्त्रगर्तेषु मुह्यताम्. He says, my devotees, madbhaktaha, my devotee, having understood or realized the truth behind my essential form. So, Lord is not, there is nothing wrong in being devoted to the Ishvara in whatever form you accept him as Ishvara. But you must know his true nature. It is imperative, it is paramount that if you are a true devotee, what does devotee do? He does japa. You must reach Vaikari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. You must reach Para. Don't leave it on the way. Because you are a devotee when you are chanting with the loud, big mouth. You are a devotee when you are chanting mentally also. But the devotee who is chanting mentally, ajapa japa sthiti, he is closer to God than the one who is doing it Vaikari. Well, by the time you reach Para, if you have not gone to sleep and you have understood that the name of the Lord, if I am chanting Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, and if you have understood Shri Ram the way Sita ji is explaining here, that is the acme of devotion, no? That is the climax of devotion. And he is that Ram, he is that Parabrahma Paramatma, who alone is expressing as Ishvara, who alone is expressing as the Tridevata, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, he alone is expressing as all the Devatas, and he alone is expressing in the heart of every being. See? So here when he says, my devotee having understood or realized the truth behind my essential form, nature or being, becomes eligible to become one with me. When this Aikya, Brahmatma Aikya Bodh we say, Brahma and Atma Bodh. Bodh is that I am he and he is me. When that happens, then there is no knowledge. There is only Bodh, there is only a realization. When does it happen? When, here it says, having understood or realized the truth behind my essential form. Don't get lost in form. If you get lost in form, what is the maximum you can achieve? Salokya mukti, sarupya mukti, bhava mukti. You can get caught up in all this, but there is rebirth waiting for you. But if you understand the form of the Lord, the essence behind the form of the Lord, then what does he say? He says, I make him one with me. Because that essence has got no form. And yet he is supporting all the forms. Then what does the seeker become? He becomes one with that infinite essence. His nature becomes like that of the Paramatma. See? Becomes eligible to become one with me, that is, attain that supreme state where the microcosmic soul merges with the macrocosmic supreme soul. So here maybe he is talking about it from Ishvara point of view. You think of that Ram is the Ishvara or Krishna is the Ishvara or Shiva is the Ishvara. You contemplate, meditate and merge into it. When will that merging be possible? Until and unless you do not know the essence of Shiva. You know the essence of Ram. Who does Ram meditate upon?
On Shivji.
On Shivji. Who does Shivji meditate upon? Ram. If he says, I meditate on myself, बेवकूफ है क्या? It will give big ego then. So Ramchandra ji, he knows his essence. And what is this essence? See, Ramchandra ji is Sarvaguna Sampanna, or Krishna Bhagavan, let's take it. Krishna, all with all the kalas. And who is Shivji? He is a Vairagi, not attached to anything or anyone. Yet Bhole Baba, Krishna Bhagavan, he has got a whole sansar around him. Where did this, even while living in sansar, how come he is able to not get attached to the samsar? Because he is meditating always on Shivji. Who is Shivji? Another form, just like I can meditate on you, I can meditate on her. If I meditate on you, what will happen? I will also become Ganpati Bappa Moria. If you meditate upon me, what will happen? On this form, what will happen? You will start growing beard. Ramakrishna Paramahans, when he started, he wanted to experience the bhava, the love, the surrender, the oneness which Radha had for Krishna. He started developing breasts. The milk started coming out of his nipples. Then he wanted to experience the devotion of Hanumanji and he surrendered towards Ram. He started growing a tail. This is all documented. So if I meditate upon, if you, Ganpati Bappa, are you perfect? In essence, yes. But when I see you as this person, I can, already I made one comment, first one only, Ganpati Bappa. Already I am judging. Already my attention is only on the form. My attention is not on the essence. That is why devotees, shishyas, they start judging their teacher because their attention is on the form, their attention is not on the essence. This is the, I'm not taking any name, it's just the principle I'm talking about. See? So choose wisely. You are in this world, you know, if you don't think of something, your mind will go to sleep. And if you are able to remain awake in the sleep, but after waking up again the world is there. How do I transform this world into divinity? So I choose Krishna. Krishna chose. He gave the form, that one reality, he chooses to see him as or meditate upon as Lord Shiva. Whole day what do you do? Very important point this is. Whole day what do you do? I'm asking, you can all reply, those who are listening. What is the conclusion of your whole day? What do you do the whole day and for what? Nobody is answering. Maybe they have already come to the answer that I am telling. You work the whole day to be tired and you look forward to sleep every day, isn't it?
Now, while you are doing any activity, Swamiji, but then behind the scene you think of God all the time.
Good of God, think of God all the time.
Yes.
I am not talking about God here. I am talking about your daily activity. Listen. I know where you are coming from. I am just pulling your leg here. So, what is the conclusion of your daily activity? Isn't it activity-lessness, which is sleep? What is the conclusion of your sleep? To get into activity. Who is Shiva? total deep sleep state. He is the Ishvara of the, he is the Lord of the total deep sleep state. No activity. So, who is Krishna meditating upon? Tyage nahi ke amritatvam. Where does his immortality come from? It is his nature. But mind, if mind is there, it has to contemplate on something. He keeps contemplating on Lord Shiva, who is not attached to anything else. That's where he gets the strength from. The vairagya, the dispassion. And the one who is dispassionate, Shiva, he wants to get into activity. But how to be active without attachment, he learns it from Krishna. See, now, will you get this answer in any book? I'm just, as I'm going along, I'm working it out.
Defining what is activity means, Swamiji, too, isn't it? What is activity? Which you're really relating that to your mind only.
Yes,
Then
yes,
you-
absolutely. That mind alone is the outside world. Yes, absolutely. You are right. That's why I always said you are the wise one. You don't accept it. What can I do?
In my legs.
No, you don't. You still don't accept it. If you say yes, you are wrong. If you say no, also you are wrong. So better keep quiet. मजा इसी का है. But you're getting the point that we are making. Huh? So when he says here that, where are we? Becomes eligible to become one with me, that is attain the supreme state from where the microcosmic soul merges with the macrocosmic soul. This merging is not possible if any doubt, even an iota of doubt, is left. When you think of the world, there will always be doubt. When you think of the supreme reality, there can be no doubt. Even by thinking Om, there will be no doubt in your mind. If you think of Krishna, 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 the word Krishna, what it represents, what is its connotation, what is its, what consciousness it represents, there can be no doubt in your mind as you come closer and closer and closer to it. Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para, knowledge has to dawn. You understand? Now, if it is that simple, so, and until knowledge that he and me are one, Mannatha Sri Jagannatha, the Lord of the world and the Lord in my heart, Krishna or whoever, Ram, are one and the same. Then alone merging is possible. This merging is called Jivan Mukti. Only a vision, then you are a Siddha Purush, that's all. Salokya Mukti, Sarupya Mukti, all this is only you come back again as a Siddha Purush. But you merge with him and there is no difference between you and him anymore because duality is only a phenomena. Then such a person is called Jivan Mukta Purusha. Realized while living, liberated while living. Continuing, macro super soul. But those people who abandon my bhakti, devotion, worship, dedication, surrender, refuge, shelter in me, and fall in the deep pit of scriptural knowledge do not get to know the truth. So those who fall into pit means here attachment. Who are these people? The other day I went to a temple to give a lecture a few weeks ago. And there towards the end, somehow it just came out of my mouth. I said, I don't go to temples unless someone doesn't take me. Some intellectual, maybe he was a Shastri, maybe he was the priest of that temple. He said, you don't go to temple, what type of a Hindu you are, what type of a Sanatani you are, this, that. Someone had asked a question lecture was over, question answer was going on. Someone had asked, and I was attempting to answer him, and in that answer this thing came that I don't go to any temples. I go to Tirth Yatras, I did say that before, but I don't go to temples. Not that I got anything against any temple, but if someone calls me, Swami ji chalo mandir chalte hain, I will go. But unless he doesn't call me, I don't go. And this fellow started 10 minutes. He was on and on and on and on and on. So the person who had asked the question, I said, you got the answer? He spent 10 minutes to answer you, you got the answer? He just smiled. He said, he must be on the committee. अरे बैठ जा यार, कितना बोलेगा? चुप बैठ जा. Then when everything was quiet and everyone was looking at me, I said, the reason I don't go to the temples is because I'm surrounded by temples. You are a temple, she is a temple, he is a temple, this body is a temple. You don't have to go to any ashram. Make your home an ashram. You don't have to go any temple. You make your body as a temple. When you have self-respect, self-confidence, when you have purity within yourself, when you access yourself as you are living in this temple called the body. वो जो इंटेलेक्चुअल था उसको समझ नहीं आया. Because he cut me in between. If he had told me, I would have continued in this train of thought. What type of sannyasi you are? What are this? See? Because they got an idea. They are attached. They are attached to temple. They are attached to committees. They are attached to mantras. They are attached Vaishnava versus Shaivites. Why? There should be no fight. They are both meditating on each other. But they are attached to this form, the other is attached to that form. So my form is more superior than your form. The script, the saints on the Nayanmars and Ayars, or something. So they are better, this is not better. Stupid. Because you are devotee of Ram, Ram Gita is very supreme. Bhagavad Gita, किसने दिया था? कृष्ण ने. नहीं. Ram Gita is better. What stupidity. So our goal is not on Adhyatma. Our goal is on what we are attached to. And this is the pit. Wherever we get identified, wherever we get attached, we lose the total perspective. We got the blinkers on. And that's what here he is saying, that he falls in the deep pit of scriptural knowledge. So scriptures, some people say you should carry the Ramayana only on your head. No, I carry it in my heart. Why should I carry it on my head? I don't want to burden my head with all the verses, man. Many people want to remember the whole Ramayana. They can chant the whole Ramayana. Fantastic. Very good effort. God's grace is there. But do they know the meaning? If people have learned this Ram Hridayam and they have been chanting, yes, it will give them already Ram. In the beginning it was told that it will bless the person. But do you know the meaning? If you know the meaning, realization here and now. But now what is happening? You are like a tape recorder repeating it again and again. It will have its benefits, certainly. So, our approach with the scriptural knowledge should be while we are listening, not later on. Make yourself in tune with in the satsang, that while we are listening, we are applying the knowledge, what it is indicating, that Ram, that Krishna, that Shiva, that Atma, that Paramatma is the self that I am. Bring your attention to that. While listening, then you are Adhyatma Sadhaka. Then you are Adhyatma Sadhaka. Then you are studying the self. This Adhyatma Ramayana is a scripture. It's a book with thousands and thousands and thousands of words. Thousands of words. Words are coming and going. Is the self coming and going? Are you coming and going? No. Who is this you? Come to that. So don't be, if when he says the scriptures at the most that they can do is only indicate the truth, indicate the goal. And having told the goal, they then come down to your level to because they have a bigger vision. Like remember in a helicopter, she saw the way to Glen Waverley. So scriptures are that which give you the total, the beginning, the end, the different stops in between, different obstacles in between. Everything is crystal clear. The pitfalls. Now we are identified with the scripture. नहीं यार बहुत अच्छा लिखा है. तो क्या करेंगे? उसकी पूजा करेंगे. किसकी? रामायण की. पढ़ेंगे नहीं, पूजा करेंगे. हमको सिर्फ पढ़ना ही नहीं है. We don't have to just study. We don't have to just listen. We have to accept that what the scriptures are talking about is my true nature. Then we have really studied the scripture. Otherwise, we'll get caught up in words, we'll caught up and scriptures as we'll go along, and we have seen now also always contradiction. There is no straight answer as regards the self, because beyond all words. Words are in the relative. Atma is beyond the relative. It's the absolute. How can relative talk about the absolute? It will keep beating around the bush. It will keep Mannatha Jagannatha. अच्छा मन्नाथ जगन्नाथ. तो मद्गुरु शुजगत. अच्छा वो भी है. मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा वो भी है. न गुरोर अधिकम तत्वम, न गुरोर अधिकम तपा. बाप रे, so many things. I can't remember anything. I remember one thing, that you are the infinite self. Do not get to, they fall in the deep pit of scriptural knowledge and do not get to know that truth, Gyan, nor are they able to have emancipation or salvation. So if you remain identified with the scripture, I have given so many lectures on Bhagavad Gita. I have given so many lectures, I have talked on Upanishads, the 9 main Upanishads. I have talked on them for each Upanishad for at least 9 times. Wow, Swamiji, you have spoken on 9 Upanishads for 9 times. Wow, you are so knowledgeable. The one who makes this statement is the most ignorant one. Which one? Not the one who said, Swamiji, you are so knowledgeable. He is intelligent. He has got Shraddha. He has got reverence. The one who says, I have spoken for 9 times on the 9 Upanishads, he is the ignorant one. I have finished these Upanishads 9 times. The Upanishads were to be interacted with, so we finish ourselves as an individual. But what audacity that I finished the Upanishad, I finished the Ramayana. और नाम क्या है रामायण का? अध्यात्म रामायण. थ्रू रामायण यू आर स्टडिंग द सेल्फ. अध्यात्म इज स्टडी ऑफ द सेल्फ. और तुमने राम को ही खत्म कर दिया. रामायण खत्म कर दिया हमने. See the language which, and that makes an impact on our mind. Quickly, idam rahasyam hridayam mamatmano इदम रहस्यम क्या है, इदम रहस्यम हृदयम ममात्मनो मयैव साक्षात् कथितं तवानघ मद्भक्तिहीनाय शठाय न त्वया दातव्यमैन्द्रादभिषाज्यतो दिकम्. I'll just read it and we'll look at it in our next class. In the 52nd verse he says, "Oh, the faultless and sinless one, Anagha, the one who has no faults, no errors in him, Anagha." Here Hanuman is being referred to as Anagha. Females are called Anagha. Referred. This is top secret knowledge or mystery is like my heart, for I am nothing else but another form of or synonymous with the soul of each one soul. Is synonymous. Ramchandraji is saying, I am synonymous with soul. Ram and Atma are not separate. They are one and the same. The space, total space and the reflected space in the dewdrop, is it different? It is exactly the same in nature. And therefore he says, is like my heart, for I am nothing else but another form of the soul. What more, it is me myself who have told you all this. Even if you are enticed with a bait of getting wealth, reward which is equal to or more than the kingdom of Indra, that is the kingdom of gods, you must not tell this, that is the above secret or mystery, to a wicked, pervert or unscrupulous person. Now we'll look at all this 52nd verse. We will deliberate upon it in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Now we'll chant the mantra. We'll chant the Adhyatma Ramayana. Oh.